Hi, I'm Greg Aronowitz and this is Barnyard Effects. I noticed in the comments of the previous videos that there was a lot of discussion about my hat that I wear often, which is a Power Rangers hat. It's specifically a Power Rangers S.P.D. hat, which is my personal favorite season. I executive produced the show and wrote and directed a bunch of the episodes and designed a lot of the characters, including Doggie Cruger and Piggy, and of course the villain Grum. At the time that I worked on Power Rangers, it was actually owned by Disney, and when they asked me to work on the show, their main mandate was that they wanted me to create a whole new world and a whole new feel for Power Rangers. The villain Grum was actually inspired by the Disney villain Maleficent. Since the Maleficent movie is coming out this week, and I thought today would be a good day to talk about that, my original concept for Grum was to make it very much reminiscent of Maleficent. Just that kind of power-hungry, mad villain. And one of the things that I loved about the cartoon as a kid was Maleficent's silhouette and those giant horns and the way that they would draw her in like these big sweeping shapes that seemed like so horrifying. And when she transforms into the dragon, I think that gave me nightmares throughout my childhood and probably still to this day. So I wanted to capture that in a Power Rangers villain. I love skulls. If you see any of my other work, you'll see a lot of skull stuff, and I love brains. For some reason, a brain can both be very powerful and very vulnerable. So I wanted to mask who Grum truly was behind this like iron skull mask, and then have his brain exposed so that you could tell that he was both like super intelligent and also give him like a potential weak point. And of course I did a design with the horn. So I started right away by sculpting a bust of what I thought the character would look like. I thought that was the best way to go to the executives at the network and just, you know, instead of like a bunch of drawings and everything, just be like, this is what I'm thinking. You can look at it from all sides and really get the sense of the presence the character will have. And for the most part, it was very successful. They really liked it, but they were a little afraid of the direct connection. It wasn't like I just traced over a picture of Maleficent and said like, oh, here's the villain. You know, obviously Grum is a dude, so I went more masculine, and I wanted to just capture the essence of Maleficent. So I tried to do my version of the horns, but they just felt that they were too close. And even though Disney owned both properties, they thought it was like too infringing, and they kind of pushed me to go into a different direction. I was happy in the end though that I only had to change just the horns. Everything else stayed pretty much exactly like my original maquette. And of course the idea came up to chop one of the horns off and have that play into the story later on. So when you're first introduced to the character, he's kind of asymmetrical. So I created a cowl that covered majority of his head but left his face open, and then there was a separate lower jaw makeup, and then the mask came on, which the idea of the mask really stemmed from the ease of application and the ability to allow the actor to breathe when he wasn't being used. A lot of times if you're in full makeup like that and you're in there for 10, 12, 18 hours and then you have to come out and do it the next day, it's really abusive on the face and it's hard to sit there like that all day. So this is the Grum stun head. This is from the original mold, but we fused it all together and made it out of latex so it's hollow so that the stunt guy can wear it. And sometimes the stunt guy wore makeup, but for the most part, it was just this head that can like slip on and off. You know, that way he can like jump all around, and if he had to pull the head off in a hurry, he could. I am planning on putting him together, as well as a bunch of other props and characters from S.P.D. that I am going to display at Power Morphicon in August. So if you are a Power Rangers fan, or if you just want to come and check out some really cool creatures, catch me there. The thing I loved the most about my Power Rangers experience is that I got to wear as many hats as I wanted. I was hired to produce the show and write the show, but I got to direct the show, I got to do makeup, I got to design props and build sets and be involved in the visual effects. Like across the board, I got to be as creative as I wanted to be. But I have to say that one of the greatest experiences of my life was working on the S.P.D. finale. Standing in Grumm's command center on a set that I designed, surrounded by all these creatures that were from my imagination, but now in real life. It was like being at a party where all your imaginary friends just came to life. It was probably the most surreal but most satisfying thing I've ever experienced. Well, I hope you liked the video. Happy Memorial Day weekend, and please comment below, or I'll send more after you.